I hadn't like shoveled it off, or I did shovel off like a path to get to my stairs, but I slipped and busted my ass. I was like, holy shit, that sucked.
Here, let me find the video real quick, and I'll send it to the.
TJ, how do you feel about Max Crosby leaving the division? I imagine that makes you
Fine.
pretty happy.
It's still a AFC contender, so I'm like, well, we don't have to see him twice a year, but we'll probably at least have to see him once.
I truly feel terrible for Joe Burrow.
Oh my
That
god.
dude has to face
Poor Joe
Miles
Burrow.
Garrett and Max Crosby and forget
and
Steelers had
TJ
somebody.
Watt.
Oh,
and TJ Watt 6 games a year. It's just brutal.
He's been one of the most sacked quarterbacks the last few years, and I don't think that's going to end just based on that.
Yeah, I don't think so either, unless they invest heavily in offensive line.
But they can't because they need a fucking defense first.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. Like,
Bad for
I saw the
Browns because the entire Browns starting line free agent, like left guard to right or left tackle to right tackle, like all 5 of them.
maybe I have no idea.
I
saw the what was it? The Jamar Chase was like streaming a video game he was playing and streaming on Twitch or something. And he said Joe Burrow. He didn't say Burrow, but he's like Joe just texted me that Max Crosby went to the Ravens. Oh fucking hell! Like he's like freaking out, like crashing out on stream, which is so funny.
Just my poor dude.
He chose to stay in Cincinnati. He could have gone literally anywhere, made the same amount of money.
But you were in Cincinnati. You went to a Super Bowl. Like you
I
thought
understand.
that it would keep running. But
I get it. I get it.
How's your back after that fall? Looks like you landed right on the stairs.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
And I think maybe only Ryan will appreciate this, but they had the Big 12 tournament for wrestling this weekend. And one of the wrestlers tech falled his way to the finals and almost tech falled his opponent in the finals. Bonkers. This kid is unreal. We'll see what happens because 133 is like the craziest weight. What's that?
He won in the finals still, even without the tech.
Oh yeah. Oh, he won he almost tech falls the guy in the finals. He won by 14 points.
Yeah. How close you get to that stair to look at it? Expect it after all.
Oh yeah.
Your mic's a little funny, TJ, by the way. I don't know if it's just me, but
it's because I'm using the wrong one. That'll be much better.
That is much better.
There's still some good center balance there. It was just all in your ass, but
my tailbone is most definitely bruised.
Is that what
I'll
hit?
forget about it, and I'll stand up and go, oh.
Yeah, something made contact with those stairs there.
What I'm glad is that my back didn't hit anything, because if my back hit something, I would be dead.
I think the funniest part is like you can hear audibly, ouch.
And then I look up and see where the water was dripping and just try to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
So
well, that sucked. And sometimes like I think if you don't end up in the hospital, you're just like, that really fucking sucked.
And then I just had to go about the rest of my day.
Yeah. A bruised river, whatever.
But yeah, and my 2 biggest falls recently, that one and when I fell into my rose bushes, are just on camera forever. That's the I immediately that was on the green camera and pulled it up on my phone, and then I was getting a beer that evening with a friend, and I said, look what happened to me, and then people just started passing my phone, and it was just progressive laughter down the bar.
If you can
I said
laugh,
it to my
then
sister, and she said, "I feel really bad for you, but Emma and I watched it 15 times and laughed every time." So,
it's
uh,
brutal.
one last thing,
Brutal.
Chris, you have like a kid on the way in like 15 days.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
Are you guys
yeah,
are you all ready, all nested, all
I think
anything?
so. I just found out daycare is something you have to reserve when like you're born. So I don't know.
Yeah, that,
You have to
that is
save up
true.
for it starting when you're born too to be able to afford it.
So but otherwise, yeah, it's coming on. It's coming quick.
Okay,
Fuck your
cool.
retirement. You gotta pay for daycare.
Yep, that's why people are drawing out of their 401ks early.
The government's gonna help though. You'll be able to withdraw penalty free to pay for daycare. That's the GOP's solution, I assume.
I thought when you said that, I'm like, is that a real thing? Because that's
No,
fun.
but it sounds real, right? It sounds real.
It sounds like it could be real. You can only pull out penalty free to buy your first house. Uh, okay. Well,
Jake, if you
uh,
still have Prime, you can resub, I think.
Is he the only one that's
I
expired?
will. I will do
I
that.
think Chris just did it. Let me see if I can see when yours is, Ryan. Yours is still in there, but it's probably coming up.
Yeah, it's got to be soon.
where'd where'd my website go?
Actually, yeah, yours was a month ago on 2/8. It must be a timestamp thing. What time does that say? 17:13. So probably before the end of this, it will drop off.
Okay. So last time we played, y'all had just arrived in Blumenthal. You were tracking down this, kind of way to a kind of lost city named Cororics in the middle of the Silberquel Range. You went to a tavern. They kind of gave you some information about an excavation that was pretty much abandoned recently, most likely because of the war happening. But going down there, you found some a pretty large excavation with a few pits in it with workstone. There was definitely something here. A massive locked iron door with an intricate tree motif. Some iron boxes radiating magical energy, and and you found a metal seed shaped embedded in the wall that led to a puzzle that eventually opened the doors to into this old kind of broken down tunnel leading to a funicular that you were able to get working again uh, after getting a wheel kind of half back onto the tracks and also repairing the kind of conduit line using a whole bunch of javelins and that and some after going through that, you rode the funicular up, uh, making yourselves some drinks and just kind of inspecting around until you ran into the ghostly appearance of the conductor, who truly seemed to not know that they were dead, as well as the bartender of the funicular, who also didn't realize they were dead. Perhaps a glimpse of things to come. Uh, while going up, you did notice that a golem, a giant steel golem, was just pursuing you up the whole tram ride or funicular ride, uh, thinking that you were going to get ahead of him because of the slipping wheel of the non-totally repaired funicular. It was able to keep up. You ended up like this. You exited by catastrophe. As you came up, you saw that there was a crumbled portion of the line ahead of you, knowing that you were going to have to get off. You also saw the golem coming up behind you as you entered this kind of veil that you could see the city of Cororics under near constant strikes of lightning. You broke the funicular's power to have it start sliding back, which was enough to take the golem behind you out as you jumped out the front windows of the funicular, and I wouldn't so safely landed, but you are all safe eventually as you landed. And you are standing right before a bunch of rubble leading up to the city with a seeming like guard gate tower. Like everyone's on the image, right?
Yeah. Well, the of the mountain.
Yeah. So this kind of guarded gate tower where there is a whole bunch of crumbled rocks that seem to have slid down, as well as past that you see about a 200-foot gap of just completely missing. It's not in the picture, but missing trackway. So you're kind of in the middle of this veil with some need to, with some effort that it'll take to get to that main entrance. However, it's not totally visible because there's a bunch of mist and fog, and that down into the valley, you don't know if how far the city goes down that way. Yep. That's where we are at. So yeah, you're in the middle of a hostile valley with a broken bridge heading up to the city, at least 200 feet of damaged bridge, and lightning hitting different points of the valley. A scary amount of regularity. The valley below, you can see not much, but there is movement down there as you see perhaps some sort of creatures. Yeah. What do you guys do?
So, correct me. We're at the end of the tracks where we can see down, but the tracks have ended, right?
Yeah, so you guys are essentially right here, and all of the tracks from here to here aren't there.
Got it. Okay. Christopher, you wanna jump?
That distance is about 200 feet.
Okay, that's good to know.
So no problem for him, right?
So, what is your long jump, Christopher? Let's see. Jump calculator.
It's somewhere.
You're 6 feet tall. Your strength is 18. You have the boots of striding and springing. I'm sorry, you can only jump 54 feet.
And it's up too, right? So
Yeah, and it's up. So, I mean, technically by 5e standards, that doesn't matter. But, yeah, I don't think you do. If you were also a monk and you had the spell jump, then you could do it.
So here's the thing. If he gets a running start and he jumps that far up, if I do the physics calculation to tell us how far he'd go forward before he hit the ground, I think it's going to be more than the up. I think it's going to be pretty high.
I will use my power as the GM to say no. There's no way he could jump this. No, but Unless you're helping him magically, there's no way to do this.
And so at the end of this, there's like a. Can we see how far down this goes from the end of like the tracks?
Yeah, make a perception check because there is a ton of mist going down there, but make a perception check and you can kind of see. I'll allow 2 of you guys to do it if you want to.
Oh, I can dimension door myself across. Oh, we're doing perception text. I should probably do that.
Yeah, so if you 2 are standing at the end, do one more perception check.
Oh, glad I did that.
Yes, you can't see shit because you're thinking in this magical. You were trying to think of how to magically jump this man over, but Felix, you looking down, it's probably like from where you are probably about the same, about 200 feet down, but you do look back. That you could like go back down the tracks, which definitely like gets closer to the valley floor. It's just going to like from this picture you can see there's not a lot of safety down in there further down because of the river that's running through, but you could definitely get down to this valley. And I'll say with a 16, that's when you kind of like notice some movement down there, that there's definitely some level of creature activity in there, but you do also notice a lower entry point into the city down there. You see a similar kind of like large cutout, not main entrance, but large cutout entrance that you would imagine is, where at some point people came down. This is like where you started in the valley to hunt or, farm or do things. So,
How much length
Yeah.
of rope do we have? Like infinite, right?
I don't know. We have a ton of rope, but I'm not sure how that's going to help us right now. Okay.
400.
you have 400 feet of rope.
Because I could dimension door across myself, and then Big Boy or somebody can figure out how to just get a length of rope across to me. I don't know if they can huck something. But if we can do that, then I can like tie it off on my side.
Is there anything we could tie rope to?
You're standing at that kind of like watchtower. There's like some busted parts of what might have been like a portcullis or that. There's definitely stuff to tie to. I would say that would add another 50 feet. So probably need at least 100 or 250 feet of rope to span this. Actually, we'll say you would need at least 300 feet of rope to span this and be able to tie something off.
Okay, so now this is like, who knows what would happen? Because if we tie it off, give Carrick some rope, and then he dimension doors, what happens to the rope that he's holding? Does that go with him? I imagine it does.
This is
I can't.
Yes, I was thinking this exact same thing. What happens to the rope when the portal closes? Let's see.
I'm thinking like, has anybody else read Dungeon Crawler Carl?
No, on my list, but I haven't gotten to it.
I'm not going to spoil anything. There is a spell called Hole, which is exactly what you think. It makes a hole, but if you get someone caught in the hole and you end the spell, it cuts their head off or something.
Yes.
So that's what I imagine might happen, but I'm not sure because I don't know what Dimension Door looks like. What does Dimension Door look like?
So
it's not a hole. Yeah, if it's just a teleport, then why don't you? Well, I don't want to use spell slots to try it and see what happens with something else. So we have 2 options. We can try that and see what happens, or we can try and climb down and go down to the door or the other entrance that's below. I'm happy to
Based
climb down.
on the rules
but-
of Dimension Door, it does not. You guys can try this, but like I just said the rule out loud to you, you would have to make an Arcana check to know that that's not how it works. If you want, or you would, I would give you the Arcana check to see like would this work? Because what would actually happen is the rope would just be shunted back to where it started. Dimension Door confers people, not. Yeah.
But you can carry stuff with you.
Yes, but it's creating a rift in how logically it makes no sense. If you had disappeared from one place and appeared in another place, how did the rope that was connected to one thing follow you to that place?
Yeah, I would imagine
Well,
You would have the end of a rope.
it would like break the rope or something.
It would break the rope from wherever you did it. I think that is the correct.
But if you take extra, we have 400 feet. If we tie off 350 and you have 50 extra feet, even if it cuts off and it falls to the floor, your chances of being able to grab it are probably still pretty high.
But
you just step on it before it gets
where
away.
it will fall is where you left from, not where you
Okay.
land.
Got it. Okay.
How far
Well-
can we throw things? Like, is that?
Felix is going to start climbing down because he sees no real
No
other way
way
to-
that we can't.
to make this work. So he's going to start climbing down.
Let's see. Just let's see. Throwing distance D&D 5e. I mean, a javelin says it is 20 to 60 feet, which for someone that can jump 57 feet, only being able to throw something 60 feet is kind of funny. This is where rules break down.
What if he put his boots on the javelin?
Let me just see. What is how far?
Can you dimension door with somebody?
Yeah, you get one person with you.
So if if you get on Christopher's back, you tie the javelin to the rope. He jumps as far as he can and then throws the javelin, and then you dimension door back with Christopher.
I am going to rule
Can
that
you javelin into something, Christopher? Is the question.
So the problem is that I can only bring with me someone my size or smaller.
no, you
Fuck
guys are
that
both
rule.
medium creatures.
Oh, good.
It says one willing creature of your size or smaller.
Yeah. So
So what size are you? You're medium, right?
This comparison is you guys are all considered medium creatures.
Oh, so it's not like because I'm a scrawny boy I can't get.
No. It is you are like if you were a halfling, you would be considered a small creature, and then you couldn't have taken it with you.
Okay. Well, so
Um,
then, yeah, so then we'll totally teleport Huck.
I am going to rule this though. It will take a strength check, but just for things, people do no hops from right field to home plate, which is a distance of 325 feet in baseball.
So yeah, we could throw it.
I will rule that you can throw it. It's just depending on what you're throwing it with, there's going to be a level of failure.
So we need someone. Okay, so
In fact, Mookie Betts can throw from right field to third base, and that guy is 5'6".
okay. Here's what I think we do. This is my last pitch before I start climbing down. We tie the rope off. We tie the other end of the rope to something solid enough to throw. Carrick and somebody else, maybe me, dimension door to the other side to catch said object. And then we tie the rope off and we you guys come across. That's the
So
last thing I
can we
think
do it,
that might be feasible.
Can we do it the opposite so we're throwing down too?
Yeah,
Is
yeah, that might even be better.
Okay.
Does that sound like a plan?
It is definitely a plan.
It's either that or we climb down. Those are the only things I can think of.
We might end up down there anyways. So
There's always
true,
another
yeah.
ball wheel.
Yeah, we can always. We'll end up down there if we fail. So
yeah, I could go across. Or just zip across, throw it down.
So if we do it the other way, though, doesn't it require me to use 2-dimension doors or no?
I think you're just
no,
taking.
you take Christopher
Then
to
I'm
the
gonna
other
fill-
side.
Okay.
Exactly, and then one of me or Fel will attempt to catch said rope.
Okay.
I don't know who has the better. I don't know what the check would be. Scott, could you? What would the check to catch be? Would that be
There'd be a dexterity-based check.
dexterity? Okay, so that might be good for me. Is there a skill?
A catching skill? I would just say it'd just be a straight dexterity check. So no proficiency.
Okay, that sounds fine. My
Unless-
dex.
Unless, did you play baseball in the Zadash Baseball League?
He absolutely did not. Unless, is there anything that Carrick has, or not Carrick, Fel has that might be able to help in catching? What? Think about that, TJ. And
Yeah, catching other than just my arms.
Can we attach it to a crossbow? Do we have crossbows?
I have a crossbow. I have a short bow and a crossbow. Oh wait, I do have a crossbow. Look at that.
I'm looking in the bag of holding now. So
I think the problem is you're tying a length of rope that big around a bolt, so it might not be able to shoot that well.
sure. I'm just gonna take. There's 8 javelins in the bag of holding. I'm taking.
Did you
3
use like 6 of them last time?
I think that I just had on me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We have even more in the bag of holding, just a reserve. We have just an armory in the.
It's just a little bit of bric-a-brac of weapons.
There's 2 masterwork javelins too. I don't remember those.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this.
Oh, real quick, just for Chris, my mom sent me this. It showed up on her like memory photos on her phone.
That's awesome. So was that soapbox derby? No,
The snowbox derby.
soapbox derby. That's it. Yeah.
We would wait until the day before,
Yep.
and we ruined my dad's shirt because we painted it, and the paint was still wet the next morning. What a fun time.
Good times.
Man, I was so small. Okay, so you guys are gonna do that. Yeah, dimension dooring over there and throwing it back. So if you want to throw it, I will say with your level of strength, you can either yeah, I'll just say that it's a athletics check. I was gonna say, do we need this? Should it be dexterity for precision? But no, we'll say you can definitely throw it. Yeah, we'll just say it's athletics, but the athletics is for how how accurate it is. Which, by the way, what's the world record javelin throw? (323 feet). This is well within actual things that can happen.
I did the Spartan race and did you have to do the javelin throw. Mine just flopped over and hit the guy in the shin. So this is what can happen too in real life.
That's Jan Zlensky of the Czech Republic in 1996 in Jena, Germany. And the women's record is 230. That's kind of crazy. The men throw it almost 100 feet further. The guy that threw it looks like he weighs maybe 80 pounds.
With just one really big arm, the rest of him is tiny.
So I'm gonna break off the tip of the javelin too, just so if it does
I'll say if you break off the tip of the javelin, it is not flying aerodynamically.
Never mind. Tips on. All right, rolling.
This thing rockets through the air. It is making it. If people want to catch it, go ahead and make a dexterity check.
I don't necessarily mean catch it, but you prevent it from falling off the side is really...
Okay, so you're not trying to catch it at all. You're just making sure it doesn't...
Yeah, you know, it's like you want to step on the leash before the dog gets too far. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I still think that's a dex check, but I don't want to, like...
Yes, well, first, with a 27, Christopher, just roll a d20. Okay. It didn't do something cool, but it is definitely over the over that distance. So yeah, make a dex check to make sure that you can like get it to where you want to. If you had rolled a 15, it would have gone through a portcullis hole and attached itself. You were not an athletic kid. You go to try and grab it. It's just kind of swirling about. I'll just say you trip and fall and take 2 points of damage.
Perfect.
But with the 27, there's no, kind of like fear that this will fall. So
turn around too, just make sure the coast is kind of clear up here. We're not like about to get pushed off the edge or something. But
yeah, well, when you guys got up here, the scariest thing is that lightning keeps striking. In fact, you remind me, make both of you make a dexterity saving throw who are on the other side of the bridge.
Can we tell if that lightning is magical or natural weather patterns?
Make a nature check. You want to discern that.
Is this something I can see? Dexterity?
I would say not. I don't know how well people can see lightning.
Yep.
Just like the storm and the general look of it, does it seem magical or does it seem just...
It is naturally... It is lightning, like natural. It's not like conjured magical lightning, but the whole fact that the storm is here and in this regularity is definitely not natural. So,
okay.
So, this is like you're kind of putting together why this place is quote unquote undiscovered. because anyone that comes here, like, you can't get in. Like, flying into this would be a death sentence. So the only real way to have gotten here is by traversing straight up mountains or the way you got here. Like, this storm shouldn't be sitting here for this long at this intensity.
Okay.
So, yeah, you guys are both with the 17 and 20. You are able to, you notice that there are these rods close to you, and you are far enough away for it not to arc off the lightning rod that you were, like, you were holding it for a second just to stabilize yourselves as there's, kind of this wind and storm going, and then you go like, oh shit, and move. So the lightning rods are taking the hits from this. That's how lightning rods work, right?
I think they're weird.
Okay, so you guys have the javelin and the rope on the other side. So for this, you would have had to tie 5 knots, right? No, we had said 300 feet of rope, so 6 knots. Because you don't have one continuous 300 feet of rope. So.
Oh, right, because they're what, 50 feet each?
50 feet each. Or were these the 50-foot ropes or the shorter ropes that were silk?
I think they were the 50-foot ropes. Okay, cool. Eric, you want to tie these up somewhere and
Yeah,
we'll make our way across?
I will say I need 6 knot tying checks from someone.
Who has the most? What is knot tying?
Yeah,
what is
what's
knot tying? It could I will literally give you anything for knot tying. It could be intelligence for what type of knots to do. It could be dexterity. It could be strength of just you tied the knot so hard that the fibers melded.
So who's good? Who's got like the highest strength? Christopher, or Fel,
No,
right?
Fel does.
Okay, so Fel can tie, and then one of us just give the help action with our intelligence and be like, look.
I will
This is how
say,
you do
yeah,
it.
make an intelligence check. If it's over 12, if it's over 10, you can give advantage. And then it'll go from there. That gives extra bonuses.
Okay, I have a +4 to intelligence. Does anyone
Also,
have
a
that?
bonus if anyone can actually say any not lore in real life.
Prusik knot.
line.
That's the one we looked up on.
Yeah.
That is the one we looked up the other day.
Oh, the Eagle Scout in me is so disappointed.
Carrick,
I can't think of more knots right now.
The Eagle Scout in you has failed. Granted, you were a Utah Eagle Scout, which really just means you went to church.
Hey, now, I was not one of those LDS troops. It was different.
I know, but that is my opinion of the Utah.
And that is a fair opinion of Utah scouting.
That was the Idaho one too. That was basically.
I actually think the only knot that I can remember is probably a knot that actually makes sense for this situation too. The bow line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
bow
bow
line
line
would be
would
good.
probably be the. Okay, so with a 14, I will say that's not enough to give any extra bonuses, but whoever is tying the knots can do it with advantage. So Fel, go ahead and make just a strength check with advantage.
Do I need to do the same from my end of the rope, or is it?
No, this would have been like you guys tied all these knots beforehand.
This is to make the length.
Guess the 17 was
length.
okay.
Okay, I will say a 17 is pretty good. You have you tied the right knots. You got them into a tight configuration. It is pretty good. You know for a fact that Felix will be able to do this. The harder thing is you thinking like, I have a bunch of plate armor on. I weigh 270 pounds. So
You put the plate armor if you want to doff the plate armor. We put it in the bag of holding for right now, so we can
the plate
get
armor will
across.
take a half an hour.
So we got nothing but time. Like there's at this point we have not run into
Yes,
any.
you have nothing but time.
Okay, well,
Yes,
we gotta make
you
it
can,
across.
but I just want to be clear. Like that would be a half an hour sitting up here.
It's up to. I'll leave it up to Bell if he wants to take off his armor to. I'm gonna go across the rope first because I don't want to have the rope
Okay.
come crashing down.
You and Thel do need to secure it to something. What do you secure it to?
I mean, whatever the biggest, most secure-looking boulder that we have, or we could just tie it to like the last of the tracks, assuming that the tracks are pretty secure, right?
Yeah, you would be able to like kind of like go underneath the track and do that and tie it. Yeah, I'll say that's smart enough. You can definitely tie it and like using if you're willing to lose the javelin, then you can kind of like wedge that in as a stabilizing point.
Yeah, I think
No.
sacrificing the javelin is probably fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, everything is set up for you to go full cliffhanger and actually, you know what? What this actually makes me think of is Ace Ventura 2 when the raccoon falls.
Aw.
At the very beginning of the movie.
Which is also like a spoof of another movie where that happens.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Isn't it Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone? Yeah.
I think it
so.
is. Yeah.
Yep. So you go across Felix. I will say make an acrobatics check. With your second story work, I'd say make it with advantage. You shimmy across this thing like a squirrel on a power line and make it to the other side. Now, Thel, you will do no matter what it is with disadvantage because you have plate armor on. Are you trying to? I'd imagine you're just trying to muscle your way through.
I am, yeah. I'm just gonna muscle
Unless
my way
if there's
over.
any other way that you would like to do this.
I will give myself a little bit of. Well, I mean, it'll only help me for the last stretch. But once I'm within 30 feet of the opposite edge, I'll misty step to the other side, so I don't have to.
If needed, okay.
Yeah.
I don't want you to use that. That'll be dependent on your roll of where you get to.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make a athletics check with disadvantage. I feel really bad that we had to cancel out your critical. That's the worst. You see a 31 show up, which is essentially you lifted this city and just took it with you. But a 20, I think a 20 is more than enough, especially with, how the knots went. Yeah, I think you're able to make it. I think, though, with the 20, you are able to make it all through. You definitely couldn't make it back on this rope. This rope is spent. So mark off. I'll give you, since it's 20, you can get 2 lengths of rope back from this.
Used 4, 5.
You needed 300. You used 6.
Okay. 6.
I am depleting your most critical resource.
I was expecting this.
I like that while shopping, people looked at magic things, looked at this. Christopher just bought fucking rope.
Most practical thing.
Yep. He's like, who the fuck cares about magic? Okay, you guys are on the other side. I would say as you guys are all kind of concentrating on that, and as Thel, you get everyone make another dexterity saving throw. Just as the lightning's still going. Technically, everyone, because Thel's there, gets a +3 to this. Or plus, what's your charisma modifier, Thel?
Yeah, that aura. It's 3, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so everyone
I-
gets a +3 to this. So, but
Dex
go ahead and
save.
roll a dex save. I assume everyone's
Sick.
going to save, but need one from yeah. Everyone is over 20. You guys like Christopher and Carrick like huddle everyone in, like, do not walk on the sides. So you guys start heading up. As you look through these tracks, it's going into this, like, it kind of crests, and then it looks like it goes into this large, kind of grand entryway. As you get closer to the city, you see that it's on kind of like these 4 steps. So like there's this base layer, and then like kind of an inside second layer, inside third layer, like like Incan stepped farming type of thing. And the city is like down here, it's just kind of like a rampart and that, not a lot to look at, but as you get a bit closer and can see with the light of the strikes of lightning, you see kind of like some grand buildings that are like inset into the mountain itself. It doesn't look like anything like is built just out on it. It's everything's inside of the mountain, kind of like a Minas Tirith build where it's against into a mountain, but without the kind of major roads. It seems like everything is inside of the building. So you walk in, or I guess what do you guys do? Like, you guys can climb up through that or go in under the city.
I don't know. Anyone see a reason to pick one versus the other?
Let's go with your gut.
Would we have just on inspection, is there any reason why we might pick one versus the other, or are we just kind of picking at random here?
Picking one versus the other, there are constant lightning strikes out here. So it's essentially dealing with unknown, like very hostile environment and not knowing what might be on these steps, or going inside and just dealing with the unknown.
Maybe
Also, it would be a lot more effort, you would imagine, to climb up this, quarter of a mile's walls going up this city, because it's very sheer. It's not like, oh, there's stairs going up.
Okay. Enough said. Let's go inside then.
Physical effort. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. As you all walk in, um, through this arch, it is a little weird because it doesn't look like there's any actual walking paths. This is the way that the funicular was supposed to go through, but obviously that will never happen again. Probably almost shouldn't have happened this time, but you are walking through, and as you walk through, kind of these lights flick on. There are these kind of like soft orange lights that go through. It, everything starts becoming illuminated, so you're able to see just kind of this grand tunnel. There's it's kind of an interesting mix of both, you know, you would think dwarven architecture, very like grand stonework, but then the actual like lights that turn on look a lot more um, technical, so more like not magical, but like artifice type things. Reminds you of the stuff that you saw in Hupperduke. So uh, what you would get kind of here is looking, it's like whatever whoever lived here was definitely had a large gnomish presence as well as a large dwarven presence. Uh, and there's also uh, big emblems like on this grand entryway of, it looks like a like large warhammer where both sides of the uh, both ends of the hammer are dwarven faces with beards hanging down. Which, if you want to make a religion check, you can figure that out. If not, you can continue going on. This is all just
Yes.
flavored.
Bell would like to know
Yes.
more. That Bell is dumb.
Fell's like, that's not a dragon, and just keeps going. Um, so you guys
He
continue
scoffs. He goes,
moving.
"That's not as cool as a dragon."
That's not as, my god's cooler. Actually, you wouldn't even think this was a god. You would almost think of this as like blasphemous, that they're like idolizing something that's not. But yeah, you get there and you guys all kind of walk up, and after a little scramble, get to the station of where you imagine you were supposed to. It looks like almost identical to the station down in the valley that you started from. But everything is like dusty, but very well kept. Um, yeah, you're at that. There's a kind of like ticket booth type situation where you imagine people would have come to get on that, and they would have tracked people coming and going, not that you're presenting papers, but they would just, kind of like a customs office to just make sure they know who all is here and who all is leaving. Um, yeah, so what do you guys do from here?
Look for
I
treasure.
guess we just gotta make our way deeper into the city.
Okay. Yeah, so you go and start going through this, customs line, and as you do, you are kind of like trying like to move this gate that isn't open, uh, and as you kind of like push on it, you suddenly see very suddenly, um, a bluish apparition show up in the little booth and goes, "Well, hold on there, sir. You can't just walk through. We got to get your name, and so we know who's in the city." And very much like the ghosts that you saw on the funicular, you see a dwarven ghost wearing kind of like a porter's cap and like the most stereotypical train conductor type thing. Just stand there like, I just need to ask you a few questions. No hurry, no hurry. There's plenty. There's no one behind you, so
What year do you
let's
think it is, sir?
it's like, well, it is. It is 1566.
What year do I think it is, sir?
You would know that 1566 would be in the future in your. It is currently 870 PDE or
Oh.
PED. So, make either of those two people that talk make a history check.
Yeah, you do that, because
No, you guys both can.
Bell don't
okay.
read books good. Actually, not too bad.
It is all right.
This one you actually have read. You would know that the current calendar is based off of Divergence, which is when the gods left Exandria, put themselves behind the divine gate. So, kind of like think, birth of Christ, how our calendar or our Gregorian calendar works. Him saying that makes you think like, oh shit, that is a time I don't even fucking know about. This guy existed at a time when the gods were still around.
Gotcha.
So it's not the future. It's just so far back that we're in BC.
It predates, predates our timeline marking and is an entirely different reference point that we don't know or understand.
Okay.
Well, I'd say with those, like, you would know and understand it, and the fact that it's, just like, there was a demarcation where they said, hey, you know what, we're going to start everything over. We're going to start at zero now. So that's the biggest thing which you would know is like this guy thinks he's in a time where the gods still walk the earth.
What exactly do you need from us so we can get in here?
Just need why you're here and
why are you here?
I live here.
We live here.
Make a deception check.
Oh no.
That's a natural one. So he goes, no, you don't. We have a list of like he looks at all of you and he says, we have a list of everyone, and let me type this into my machine. Boop, 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 boop. No, there are no tieflings that live in this city.
Okay. Full disclosure. We're on vacation and we need to buy some more rope. Hoping this place has some.
He looks at you and then looks at anyone else and says, why are you here?
This is true. We will always want more rope, but we're here to, check out the local area, find some god stuff.
Pilgrims.
That's what we say when we go to church. I'm looking for some god stuff.
Need some god stuff in my life. He looks, the moment you say like god stuff, as dumb as that is, he's like, more pilgrims, I assume, to there's a name. I gave this tree a name. I can't remember what it was, but it's like Ars. We'll just say Ars exemplar. That's taken from a different tree, but I think it means like glorious tree. People to come here. Do you wish to see the tree up close? Do you wish to just learn about our Lord and Savior, our patron Moradin, or what? Anything specific for your pilgrimage? Just so I can direct you. And he's like,
Package, maybe
writing
less
things.
than yeah. We're not much learners. We're more of experiencers.
Okay, so you wish to go on the pilgrim's trial.
I mean,
Yeah,
probably both.
sure.
If there's any books we could peruse or take with us. Not take. I won't say take with us. I won't say. I won't admit that we're gonna steal them.
Okay. Well, good. I know where to send you. Can I get your all of your names?
Angus?
Just he looks at you, doesn't believe you, but writes down Angus, and he's writing it down on a piece of paper. It's obviously like not writing this dude's a ghost. He writes it down because Angus.
Well,
He looks at you. Bell.
Full disclosure, I have no idea why I'm lying to this guy.
Why are you lying to
You're torturing a poor
literally
ghost.
a 900-year-old ghost?
You put him in front of me. I mean, what else am I supposed to
Okay,
do?
do you guys just give your names?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've exhausted this guy's dialogue tree. The door opens as he does something behind the gates. He's like, well, good less time on your pilgrimage. And looks to you, Felix, says, lies won't get you far here. And then disappears.
oh, I wanted to be the last one out the door, and I wanted to tell him, "Hey, by the way, you're a ghost. Good luck. Okay, bye."
He does not. He disappears. He goes. He makes a weird face. Goes, huh? And then disappears. So you are now inside the city, and you kind of like go up. It's almost like kind of like going up a subway stairs. Like move up these like 8 sets of stairs. You're confused about how underground you are. And you enter into this kind of like main thoroughfare. This guy told you to go, I would say, to go find any of the anvil houses and talk to a priest there, and they should be able to get you set up on the pilgrim's trials. So they give you that, but you kind of have the free reign of this completely dead city. What you notice is as you walk through and get into proximity around people or things. Sorry. These ghostly apparitions will appear and like be having conversations on the street, like look at you and that. But as you get further away from them, they'll disappear. So it's almost like the proximity of life is what brings these ghosts back and forward. Okay. You kind of have free reign to explore the city now. So think about if there's anything you want to do. The city is well preserved, but definitely like old, dusty. No one has been here in years and years and years. Or the people that were here died years and years and years ago. Even with, dwarvish and gnomish lifespans being, like up to 200, 300 years. No, I think he's only at like 150, 200. The oldest person here you would have deduced would have died 700 years ago. So, But it seems like with its seclusion and with how the weather works, everything inside of here is very well kept, and uh, nothing seems to have incurred its way into here. That this is like an untouched piece of history.
Did they
So
die out all at once? Like, was it a cataclysm? Was it a like? Are there signs of disorder? I guess.
there are no, everything's like still looks immaculate. It seems like something happened and everyone died.
Right.
That would be your best guess, looking at like how well preserved everything is. There was no like riot or whatever killed everything here was not by uh, the people here. Something more divine or larger, you would think happened.
Cool. I'm gonna just start stealing stuff then. As
Okay.
whatever catches my eye.
Think about that. I need to go get something in my throat because I'm coughing. But I'll be right back.
Right back as well. Sorry, you guys have to watch me eat, but I didn't have any lunch.
Yes, I'm staring at it oh so intently, just watching you eat. The only thing.
What? Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to try on pants. Because you have... Well, Chris the Least, you've met my wife. Okay. What does everyone want to do?
Guys, silly? I'm still gonna send it.
Steel and ship.
You're still on ship? Okay. What are you looking for?
Shiny shit. Or weapons, I guess. Or
Shiny
rope.
shit or weapons?
I should have in reverse order. Yeah.
Okay. So we are kind of in a little exploration mode. I guess are there any let's just go down. So stealing shiny shit or weapon shit. Carrick, what are you here for? Or what are you looking for? Like obviously the thing that you were directed to was this anvil house. But while looking for that, is there anything specific you're looking for? You want to loot this ancient religious city?
I mean, anything spell related, spell books, scrolls,
Okay.
yeah.
Anything like that. Okay. Bell, are you looking for anything here?
I doubt I'll find anything weapon or armor wise that would. Well, I don't know. There could be something magical or imbued here. Yeah, one eye on weapons or armor, any interesting items, but really looking for, yeah, cord related information, which might be, adjacent in any of their books
Okay.
or.
Okay. And then Felix, anything?
Just any ingredients we can take back for our cheese shop.
Okay.
Anything that we can figure out how to like reproduce with our research team.
I didn't know that. I just said so. Last night I started. We started a new campaign of a different game with the Matneys, which means only something to Jake. It's in Fallout. It's the Fallout tabletop RPG. My character died immediately. I said that he got shot in the head. Like he got criticaled twice in a row, and
Oh, yeah,
Dave is
brother.
like, he's like, I feel really bad that your character's dead. Like you did one action and died.
Them's the breaks, dude. You want to play Mothership? That's Mothership.
Yeah, which he said like we were
The
all
good news
learning
is
the
Mothership,
system.
it takes like 10 seconds to make a character. Fallout takes a little bit more time, I think.
Yeah, we spent two hours making our characters, and then he died immediately.
Oh no.
And I'm like, can he just not die? And I will take the permanent wound, and he can't see out of one of his eyes. And that was our compromise. Gronk Kirkland.
Any vision related, perception checks disadvantage the rest of the game.
Yep, just the dude has literally a quarter of his face gone. But it was just funny that he was like, I don't know what to do, man. I should not have done this to you. Like,
It's such a fine line. You want those mechanics to be in the game just for the stakes. Like if there's no stakes, then it's not always
Yeah.
intense, right? I get it.
What were you doing where you had, sorry, we're completely off the rails here, but what were you
No, we
doing
can't.
that required you to roll?
What was I do?
Yeah,
What was
I
doing
like
in the
what
game?
yeah, I imagine you had to roll and you rolled poorly. So what were the
I went to attack a person and missed, and then another person I didn't know was there came and shot me in the face.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that sounds reasonable, but also damn.
yeah, there was every
Sometimes bad
reason.
luck sucks.
Well, and I think it was that is I was a melee character, and the other two and I went first, and the other two characters on their how their builds worked was to hide first. So it was essentially just like imagine Mike Tyson running in trying to punch someone of 5 people, and then all of his backup is just not there. So
His entourage bailed.
yeah, so that I think that was the problem is the people that no one had any other target but me because they were hiding. So it was a learning experience about for everyone that you can't just always hide because the person in the front is going to die. But it is a
That's
cool
less on
system.
Dave and more on them.
Hmm?
It's less on Dave and more on them.
It's yeah. You could tell people were into it because we were playing until almost 2 last night. And that is why I said fuck daylight savings time. when you're looking at your clock and it jumps from 1:59 to 3 in the morning, you're like, oh damn.
I'm playing this Twilight 2000 game. It's like it's right now we're playing like it's like World War III has like nuclear World War III is happening.
Oh, so real life?
Yeah, well,
Not
yeah.
just bad joke.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm playing like a medic, and we came across a guy at a cabin. This is an old, frail guy. I was like, "Well, what are his symptoms?" And the guy running the game tells me all the symptoms, and then he's like, "I'm like, okay, this guy's definitely not looking good." He's like, "Yeah, he has typhoid." And so my guy's just like, "Yeah, he's fucked. So we could either shoot him and put him out of his misery, or we could just let him. We're not saving this dude."
Is typhoid fever still a thing?
It is in this world, apparently.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Shouldn't that be one of those dead diseases?
At this point, nothing is truly dead.
Isn't that what we said
apparently.
about measles?
Measles, yeah. Did you say measles or shingles?
Eagles.
Measles. And it was a dead disease. Hey, you know what is still a dead disease? Smallpox.
For now.
Yep. Man, I don't envy you in that regard, Chris, with having a new kid and your vaccine schedule changing.
Yeah.
At least what my pediatrician has told me, and obviously the American Academy of Pediatrics still believes in the old schedule, and they're just like, fuck off, CDC. So hopefully
kind of-
most
I think
most
that's the bigger thing. You
pediatricians
just
will
need to make
still
sure-
recommend the same schedule.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, just make sure you get a good pediatrician.
That's the we've been interviewing around, and there's like that's kind of their first question is feeling you out for, hey, science, is that a thing? Yeah. Okay, great. We're friends now.
Good. Good. Just that's just
Yep.
small amounts of parenting advice.
Yep.
I don't know. All we need to do is drink whole milk.
Raw milk.
I fucking
Yeah.
love whole
Raw
milk.
milk.
raw
Raw.
milk.
No, you can't even get that. The place that used to sell it here in Sugar House doesn't do it anymore. I do love whole milk though.
It's the bomb.
Honestly, one of the best things about having a kid is just having whole milk in your house.
I remember after we
mind the
started
love
doing that.
you have for your child, but
Yeah, I
having whole
remember
milk in
spot
your house-
checking the difference between them, like 2% and whole milk. I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna roll with whole milk from here on out. I don't really, I guess there's a
I don't
difference,
drink
but
a ton of it, but it's just a superior product.
I would agree. I'm the minority in my household, though. Toby's whole family is all about that skim milk.
Just,
see, maybe that's my
if-
problem. Is my family was always a 2% family, so the difference between 2% and whole milk, I'm like, why bother? Like, just do whole milk.
Skim milk. I would always remember going to your house, Chris, and
Yep.
we'd have cereal, and you always had the nice cereal, but I'd pour the milk in, like, why is the milk gray?
Yep.
It's slightly
Yeah.
slightly flavored water is all skim milk is.
Yes.
I feel like
Imagine
this is an
people watching
incredibly
TJ's stream.
American child conversation.
We are off in left field, but whatever.
Yeah.
I have been trying out, so I did it for the last one. I was able to extract like the transcript and then put it in for like a summary on this YouTube video description. Really curious what it's gonna pull out of this for next time.
Yeah. No, so I've done like the past two, I use an AI tool that just pulls everything out and uses the automatic YouTube transcriptions. And I say like, oh, give me a recap. it just takes, when we're doing these parts, it just skips it.
Does it?
Because it
no
it
bullshit.
realizes the like context of the actual content is the game, and skips over when we're having these diatribes. If you prompt it to
Yeah, you
use,
gotta.
like,
Yeah.
hey, give me a recap of the game, it'll just all of this. It would be funny though if we were talking like in our character, like, oh, Fel says this and that, it would probably pick it up. And that would be funny.
Yeah.
The GM has milk opinions. Okay. Anyways, so two people are looking for kind of, you're in an ancient city of a dwarf god of creation. So looking for something interesting in there. We have someone that's always on the lookout for magic, like spells and that. And then Felix, you said you were looking for I'm blanking.
New ingredients I can take back.
Yeah, new ingredients.
Cheese I can take to my research team.
Take to my research team. So I'll let you guys all kind of go about this. Like, tell me the skill that you want to use. I would say Christopher and Thelyers are kind of very similar, unless Thel wants to go a different way about learning about chord. So you guys could either roll together or one with advantage on that, or Thel, you can kind of branch off and do more, since you guys both kind of said the same thing, but you also said the chord thing. So
Yeah, I'll primarily look at the chord thing, but maybe I'll just hey, if you see anything pallid and shiny, Christopher, let me know. I'll come take a look.
yeah. So I think it would probably be going down the line. It would probably be a just as a whole. Let's do a group investigation check. Or if you want to talk to the ghosts, people can do charisma persuasion check instead.
No.
No.
Since what Thel is looking for could be like subtext within books, like not even it wouldn't even be on the title, so it would probably be hard to find.
Would probably be more charisma based.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see if any ghosts can direct me to, oh yeah, it talks about chord in this book up over there, or stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna do persuasion to see if I can get someone to direct me
to the best eatery.
To the best market.
Yeah. Okay. Shit, you guys have really been rolling pretty well. And then Christopher, yours can be.
I'm gonna start off my bagpipe and pretend to be a performer to impress people and see if they'll tell me where the cool stuff is. So
where the cool stuff is?
I'm just randomly throwing out some performance here.
Okay.
Those bagpipes are not gonna be terrifying in this deserted lightning city at all.
Well, actually, you notice that you don't hear the thunderclaps in here. What was that? Oh, there was this other Discord that I'm in was someone named Jake, and I'm like, Jake, are you private messaging me? But no. People were they're talking about Balatro. Okay, let's go down the line. in this situation, do you all split up? Because kind of where your paths would go right now would be splitting up.
Oh, split up. Like, I think that I would be willing to split up, but I wouldn't be willing to be like in a dramatically different location. Like, it'd be still nearby-ish, right?
This would just be poking in rooms, just kind of main group, and then one person kind of just poking ahead.
Yeah, but I'm not going like way off on my own.
Okay. I will say, going off on your own could lead to better results. But so if you're just kind of like on, because you're on your like critical path to the, I guess that's the better question. How important is it for you guys to get into the critical path to that anvil house, or are you spending the entire day doing this?
I don't think we're in a rush.
Yes, that's totally fine. Don't ask. Melissa, come say hi. Yeah. Melissa will never say hi when people are on the camera. She's also always in her pajamas. Okay, so no hurry. And is that everyone in no hurry?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's funny. Like middle of the day, like yesterday, Court was home with Theo. She'll come in and I'm like working. She's like, "Are you streaming?" I'm like, "No." Like this is not a time that I would be streaming. Why would you? But similar mindset was like, I don't want to be on that camera at all.
Alyssa will open the door and it's like, "Are you in a meeting?" No. Because if I was on a meeting, I'd be in the backyard. That's my outside time. Oh, so cute. Would you put it up there? Okay, thank you. Alyssa had to give me a picture of her with a bottle of champagne. Okay. Anyways, yeah, it's probably midday, so you can. It's. Do you want to play it safe and all go together, or kind of split up and leave a meeting point?
Nah, the scary lightning place probably isn't a place to split up.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say we're
I think
like,
we all. I mean, at least for sure, Thel realized like we're in a place that could definitely hold information that has been lost to time. I think we're okay being thorough, but I do think sticking somewhat together just out of caution is probably our default as well.
Okay. So what I'll say is like this takes the rest of the day. Like you're going to have to rest and like whatever kind of you're going to have to
Tiny hut somewhere.
figure out that if you're going to take all this time. But as you go through, I think we'll start with Felix, who kind of persuades, because you're kind of looking for the market, that which kind of lines up with everyone else. And you talk with some of these ghosts that look surprised that you're here. And one of them goes like, "Oh yeah, it's this small gnomish woman." She's like, "Oh, I'm heading to the market right now. Come with me. Normally we go up to the, like, I guess it's are you looking for, kind of the exotic spices that we import, or more the local stuff?"
I'm looking for the stuff you can't get anywhere else.
Oh, Oh, okay. The local stuff. So, she kind of, and you follow her, and you notice that if, like, you lag behind, the ghostly apparition just, like, kind of starts dissipating. So you, like, have to keep up with this small gnomish person who's just kind of making idle chit-chat. She's like, oh, yes, what do you... it seems you must be pilgrims here for your walk up the trial. Just appease yourself in front of Moradin Court. I can't think of any other reason someone like you would be here. And kind of winds through the city and goes like, okay, so I don't really like going down this, but I'll leave you here. And it's this like dark corridor, like alleyway. So like, people back there, they kind of get the things from here and also import from other places. But as you know, the spice trade is quite lucrative. Everyone wants good food, and up here in the mountains, it's harder to get some nice things. So go down there. I'm going to go finish my shopping. And so you walk down this alleyway, and sure enough, there are still booths open. There's no product out anywhere, but there are large barrels like behind things, and small kegs and things like that. And there's, as you walk in, you just kind of see some people leaning against a wall, just very like looking at you like suspiciously, but also they look hyper suspicious. What you need, pilgrim?
I am on a journey. I'm looking for the most authentic ingredients y'all have here. What's something I can't get anywhere else?
You see, they say, you paying?
It's good.
Got half a pound of each of our cheeses. I'm just gonna kind of put on a bit of a show too.
You're just holding cheese in front of these ghosts.
Elevator pitch. Like, what would you say if we told
Okay.
you?
They look and they're like, make an insight check on these guys.
That makes sense.
Yep, feels right. They go, we've got you. And they turn around and like, you see them like touching and moving the barrels, like going through the motions, and they just like take a scoop and they put on the counter a ghostly scoop of spices, and you realize, I don't know if that's gonna work.
Because it's like, are you saying it's like the spices themselves are ghostly?
I'm saying that they are trying to interact with something that they can't technically physically interact with.
So I'll get in there. Show me what you got. I'll I like getting hands on. Let's see. Point
You
me
try
in-
to taste the ghost spices?
No, I'm gonna like try and get like no, this is good, but I'm gonna try and like here. Why don't you show me in these barrels where I can?
Where the
You go
real
try and
good
touch
stuff
their
is.
product.
What's that?
I will say this gives a distraction for Felix to make a sleight of hand to actually steal some spices from these guys that
That's sick. All right, sleight of hand.
Yeah, but how
Is that with
scared of ghosts?
advantage
Do we
or
know
no?
how scared of ghosts we need to be? Like, if they can't interact with physical barrels, can they hurt us? So
As of right now, I don't think Felix is not scared because these guys have not done anything to make us scared at this point.
Yes. The three
this roll with
people from
with
Iceland
advantage,
Dale
Scott?
have fought a ghost that possessed them. So
That's good to know. Felix did not.
Felix does
this
not know
roll-
this.
Is this roll with advantage? I can't. Is that what you said?
No, this is Christopher.
Are you just letting me? Okay, got it.
letting me make it 20. Yes. You. I'll say on anything less, you would have just gotten like one of the barrels that they were working on. You, as you go below, you see like 5 small bottles of spices behind the booth that you are able to, and they are dust covered. You have no clue what's in them, but you have 5 bottles of mysterious spices and a
Oh, just Googled what spices were popular 1,000 years ago, not found today.
and the thing that the barrel that you stole, like the bigger thing, you you realize it is just salt and pepper mixed together. These guys were trying
Hell
to
yeah.
shice you.
After I've put those 5 bottles away, I look at them. I say, "What is this bullshit you're trying to pawn off on us?" I know this is just salt and pepper.
1,000 years ago, was salt still a commodity?
We're not
Not-
in.
that was
We're
the
not in
actual question.
Earth.
They go, hey, you sometimes you just gotta find a mark and you try to play them.
I came here with gold. I came here with a purpose, and you're here trying to fuck me.
Hey, here and reaches below. It's like we don't want any trouble. Reaches below and like grabs one, like presses something, like opens up another hatch and like puts a ghostly bottle there. So you would know that there's one other bottle that's hidden back there.
That's more like it.
And you can't
How
take
much for
it.
this?
Like this is just the ghost bottle.
The ghost. Oh, so this is actually like ghostly.
No, we'll say this, that he actually pulls it out because he caught him. They get some level of interaction with the real world. For you, 20 gold
This one's-
pieces.
I'll
We
give
won't
you
be
10.
getting
I'll give you 10 because you
make
fucked me.
make an intimidation check in this regard.
Oh boy, that's not a good one.
Let's call it 17.
It's better be worth
we're
it.
all here, right? And the other of us support in our
I mean,
intimidation.
yeah, but I don't think you guys are like here. You guys are like wandering. Like you guys don't have to be like immediately next to me. But yeah,
you guys
okay.
are like,
17 gold.
Christopher might be here, but Christopher is also just was playing the distraction guy. So 17 gold.
I take the bottle and I plop the gold on the table and watch them try to grab it, but they cannot because they are ghosts.
They look at it and say, "What the fuck is this?" Because 1,000 year ago, gold coins don't look like your gold coins.
It's a new mint, my man. New mint.
Make a persuasion check. Gold spins and just kind of like tries to sweep it in. And like it's moving by like centimeters every time he rushes his hand through it. There you go.
Cool. So that's
You
6
have
total,
exhausted
yeah?
this. You have exhausted this dialogue tree. Unless, is there anything else you want to do in this alleyway?
Let's move on.
Okay. Moving on. The next person will go to Carrick. While you were in this alleyway, you kind of wandered off a little bit to see like, oh, this might be like a little black market alleyway, and you're looking for, you know, like specific like magical scrolls and things like that. And you don't like looking through this, like this place doesn't seem like, and just even like in the back alleys doesn't seem like a very arcane place. It's much more of a religious, more holy type magic here. However, like going through this this alleyway, you see like these like almost like billboards. Like you come out to the end and you see like it's a map of the, you know what, it's a map of Exandria essentially, and you see about like 8 different locations like that have these large circles on it. Make an Arcana check as you see this map. Like you get a little bit closer, and you see one of them, and it is just south of where you like are placing yourself on this map, and it is the like, I just get close enough, like the exact symbol that you have drawn a couple times to get to Zadash in your teleportation circle. And you see about 6 others on this world map, two across different oceans. One down, like, it kind of looks like more towards the coast of this continent. One in the middle of, like, one to the east of where you are, like, looking at the map, like, seems like to be in that Jorhas area. One up in the mountains, and one just out in there's this island that any map that you have ever looked at of Exandria as a whole, that continent essentially doesn't exist, and what you would know is that it is where what is called the Shattered Teeth are. You don't really know how the Shattered Teeth became a thing, but you're in a place from 1,000 years ago. That continent doesn't exist. It is now a set of islands, but there's one down there. And I would say if you spend some time, you could transcribe, depending on how long you want to sit here, you could transcribe each of those as a teleportation circle.
How long would it take me to get them all?
To get them all, you're probably sitting, it would probably take an hour per. Because it has to be very exact. Because if you fuck it up, it'd be like your normal teleportation where you end up in Nowheresville.
So I think what will probably end up happening is I'm going to start transcribing and spending the time. Probably I get lost in it, and so if they come looking for me or like something interrupts me, then fine. But I definitely get invested in just starting to transcribe these.
Okay. I will say, Fel, in this regard, when he goes off, make a perception check to see if you notice where Carrot goes. You see him walk off. Do you follow him, or do you stay with the burglars?
Yeah, I think I go kind of where he is. I don't let my little squishy boy wander too far.
Okay. So there's definitely someone there. Like you can kind of play the like you tell them like, hey, we're gonna be over here. Follow us in a minute, and you guys all kind of reconvene there after your spice adventure, and what do you guys all kind of reconvene there? And there are two people that still have their things that they want to go do. Do you just leave Carrick there? Carrick, do you like you lose yourself in it? Do you tell people what's going on?
I mean, so Thel was with me, so I definitely tell him what I'm doing. He maybe doesn't understand how long it would take for me to finish. Like, I probably don't go into that much depth of explanation. But he knows what I'm doing and he knows where I am. So
yeah, it's up to you if people are gonna stay behind with Carrick or just let him sit here and essentially sitting at a corner cafe sketching a beautiful map.
Yeah, I tell him, I was like, hey, he said he's writing something down about teleporters. I don't really know. And then I'll just kind of
Made my
ask
notes,
Felix. I don't know if Christopher's. I'll ask Felix. I was like, I'm gonna go look for my stuff. If somebody wants to stay nearby, keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I'll stick around. Keep him company. Not that he wants company, but make sure
you
nothing
are
bad
you are
happens.
keeping a rock company right now. Okay, the other two of you go off. Let's see, who is the next person?
As
Who do we
as
say?
Thel has started to really branch off. Okay, dig into. Okay, what am I really looking for? Obviously, looking for anything religious related to Cord, but just as his recent thoughts have been about, we've got our stronghold, but really securing a foothold. So he's starting to ponder, like, okay, I'm not seeing the lightning in here. Like, what are the defense mechanisms of this city? Is there a way to turn that off? Also, one eye on that. If we find any information about the city's defenses, might be interesting to know. Just, if we ever
Like
wanted to...
what's causing this constant lightning and things like that?
And just understanding the city, like, if we were to say, like, oh, hey, let's move here.
Let's move. This is our place. We just have to deal with these weird ass ghosts.
Not that the books would have any knowledge on why the
if
ghosts are
we
here or
wanna
how to get rid of
switch
them.
Okay. With that, make a religion check.
How smart is Thel today?
10. I think mainly what you're getting there is almost kind of like what you just brought up as TJ the player. Is that like, yeah, this is a pretty great place, like as a stronghold. Like we have our good one. Like could this be like headquarters and down there be, the Scranton branch? And you're like walking through this, and just with the amount of religious things that you know, is that this place is essentially an echo of a time when the gods walked the earth, and that whatever happened here is keeping these people here. You have no idea how to change that. But that everything around here is because of some sort of religious cataclysm. And you just aren't versed enough beyond your, you're from a different dimension. You just aren't versed enough to know what that cataclysm was, but you do have faith that it could be reversed or done that. Like there's there's no reason for you to believe that this can't be what you are thinking. It's just a matter of spending more than probably the 4 hours you've been here. And this is kind of confirmed as you go and look around you do find, like, you see multiple anvil houses. Like, they aren't as common as, like, an LDS church in Utah, but this place is obviously geared toward Moradin, the Old Hammer, that people of this city were very devout. It was a place, like, you see tons of now, like, ghostly spectral forges all over the place. Like, this was a place of creation. People were making things, and the little that you do know about Moradin is that people would go get their creations blessed. So whether that's, even if that's just, oh, I built, I set up this, like, 3,000 nails, I will go get them blessed by the Allhammer to make sure they don't rust. Like, small things like that. You do, though, find every once in a while something to cord. And going through there, you meet some different disciples there. They're all these just burly ass dwarves that are shirtless, like, might have, like, one sort of, like, sash over them. They have, like, kind of these, like, lightning scars in their body. They look like if they punched you, they would kill you. And they do actually, as you go into one of them, like, kind of their big long white beard braided, no hair on top of their head. This guy is he introduces himself as the Earthbreaker, which you don't know that, but it's a, like, title given to high level priests of Cord. And he says, I can't help but notice that what you wear on your hands, that's a mighty gift. And he recognizes your gauntlets, the Titanstone knuckles. Says, you don't worship our Lord, which is fine. They've been friends, and obviously you've earned those. As he sees, like, he sees, like, the metal bands that you put on them in that one other forge. He says, what do you need? And yeah, he just kind of gives you a level of respect and just asks if, like, what you are searching for in this, and why are you here?
Yes, I look for information that your archives or your texts may carry about Cord and his journey.
Aren't much for writing, but I can give you some oral tradition. And he goes on to, like, kind of walk you through the, like, current, like, state of things. Cord, the Stormbringer, the god of trial and that, and it gives all this information, and then he says, "This is not our city. Obviously, it is an homage to the Allhammer, but we have a special reverence and keep our place here because what they have done for Cord is a reminder that even as ours is more bent towards corruption or destruction and demolishing and rebirth, we do need those that build things that persevere and survive. And as such, Cord's spear here was built for him in the current war that is raging. And he says current war that is raging. That's kind of confusing, but you can think like, okay, maybe this is like what's happening during the calamity, which is when all of the good gods and the bad gods were fighting each other, and says it was forged here, and so we have been sent here to protect it. That's why we have set up the trials to get anyone up to it. They must prove worth. The boughs of the tree above are stronger than iron, steel, platinum. Stronger than the will of Cord, almost. So we stay here to protect it. And just kind of gives you like a history of this place. But yeah, it's a lot of things that you kind of already knew, like kind of or pieced together via the different books that you read, but he's just confirming like that this is that, and that they have set up these trials. So, are there any other questions you want to ask?
Tell me, what do you know about the city as we approach? There's quite a bit of storm and lightning, but here in the city, that seems to be gone.
Yes, that was a gift given to the city by the Storm Lord to protect it during these turbulent times.
Okay. Well, my fellow pilgrims and I will probably head towards those trials. Is there anything we should know? What to expect?
The trial presents itself differently to every person. You first, hold on, I actually wrote down what the trials are. I need to pull that up so I don't misspeak. They begin with a choice. Each pilgrim can choose whichever route they wish to go on, whether it be strength, wit, or will. There is a fourth, which is more of a roll of the dice, something to pay homage to the Changebringer, not the Changebringer, different god. But each one allows those that go down it to prove themselves in a different way. Although we prefer the physical prowess, that is not the end-all be-all of competition and prowess. It starts with that, and then any that go up and reach past that first trial will be truly by themselves as they move to the Ars Exemplar. And at that point, they're given a trial that none of us know. it changes for each person. I personally have not taken the trials. I had no need. I am here more as a steward to those that need it on their path. If you want to partake in them, and they are no heat, if you die, you die. But speak with any of the heads of the anvil houses, and they will set up a trial. And quite frankly, it's been a while since anyone or any ones have gone through one. It would be a great boon for this city to have some levity in these dark times. So, do people get all of that, or need me to explain anything?
Get the crucial points. Yep.
Okay. I think that, do you have any other questions?
I'm not here, right?
You're not here.
Okay.
But what would your question be?
I don't necessarily have one. I'm just deciding what I don't know at the moment.
Yeah. The only person that knows any of this would be, Christopher. What were you doing during this whole conversation? This whole thing probably took like a good hour. Did you get bored and walk off?
No, I might have dozed off.
Okay, so you got the spark notes. Anything you want to ask, Phil?
As the chaos swirls, if anything were to happen to this city, if it were attacked or were to fall, what might happen? What might happen to those that are here? And what would a future look like?
If it was up to us, we would fight to death. And if we were defeated, that is the will of our God. The creators, those that follow Moradin, would most likely have some thing in place to make sure their creation survives. I know not what that is, but this place would not go down easy. And if it did, some semblance will always survive. That is what we hope for in these dark times,
Then,
at least.
so I was curious, just given how we play with that, train conductor, and he just still sort of disapparated. I think Thel more gently kind of pushes. I honest with you, as we've had this conversation, it's been enlightening. As a follower of Cord, do you have any memory of before I came here? What do you last recall?
Where are all my D20s? Yes. He sits and ponders for a second and says, before you came, came to out of the rooms that I keep here. I went about my work. And you see, like, just, like, make an insight check, actually. You look at the gears churning in someone's head, and after having interacted with these people, like, there's almost a part of you that feels that if you left and came back, you would start back at square one. These people have a history up to a point, and they can recall information if asked, but it's up to a point. It's this guy is still saying in these dark times, in these troubled times, in this, that, or the other thing. It's things are stuck, not in stuck in a fixed time that is able to retrieve things from the past, but not necessarily recall everything.
I try just one last persuasion. So obviously trying to push through, just trying to see if I can get any glimpse into what the final moments here were, what happened, and I level with him. I say, I don't know if you can feel it, I don't know if you can tell. I kneel down next to him. You are no longer of this plane, of this world. Your time came far before my time, and I'm trying to understand what happened here. This city, you all have been lost, and we're the first to find it in many, many years. And any information about what happened to you and what happened to anyone else that was here might be helpful.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. Okay, 20. He looks at you and eyes kind of go wide for a second. He will roll this check with advantage to remember anything. Who stolen all my dice? Okay. He looks at you and eyes go wide. He goes, thinking into, like, getting very introspective. He goes, truly the last thing I remember from last night was first a glorious exaltation onto the Ars Exemplar of lightning striking the tree, as if something that was built by it had done its purpose. And then through the sky came a black smoke, as if in retaliation. I know not if it was a vision or something else. I then awoke this morning, as if all of that had happened, but did not carry weight.
Cord's Thunder Spear, I know it was crafted here. Was it still here as far as you know, or had it been taken out to...
No, Cord had taken it to wage war on Lolth the Spider Queen.
I see. This information has been helpful. It presents some insight into what happened. We actually have my fellow travelers and I, we have the spearhead. But we are here to seek the tree to rebuild the shaft because there's another threat that looms, and the spear may be needed again, but it sounds like in Cord's battle, maybe when the spear was used, the place it was crafted was retaliated against. I think that might have been what happened to you.
It seems true, and if you are, and he looks at your gauntlets and then looks at your, and you speaking that you have the head of the spear, he's like, then it seems maybe with whatever you give the spear, it could maybe undo what has happened here, or recurse this place. I know not, but thank you for your candor, and I will think on this, although I do not know how much I will remember.
It does not seem that you or any of the fellows that we've run into in this city are in pain. Does not seem like this is a scary existence, but if we can free you and let you pass on, we will try and do that.
Thank you, and gives you the predator handshake and sees you off. Well, look at all that. Look at that lore dump.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so this place was retaliated upon after Lolth was killed. By who, by what, by one of the other betrayers, who knows, but you've gotten what happened to this place. Christopher, you wake up sitting in the pews. And I would say with like how many good rolls we're going there, the Earthbreaker gives you actual like access to whatever remains in their vault after he knows like, hey, this isn't doing us any good. And see a like smorgasbord of weapons, of tools, of like different training materials, different things like that. There are like 4 or 5 like very large tomes on the wall. What does Christopher look for in this situation? I'll let Fel do it too.
Would I know if there's any magic to these things?
No.
Okay. I run out. Gonna go. Run about
What?
Carrick.
You don't care about any of this?
No, I'm gonna get Carrick. I'm like, I need a wizard.
I need an adult.
Yeah.
I would say we can give that up to Carrick. Carrick, would you rather go and help them look at this vault, or would you rather continue transcribing your stuff?
How far have I gotten? How long has it been?
It's been an hour.
So I got 1 transcribed, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could go help him. I'll just have the 1 for now. I don't know.
That, or does anyone else have the ability to detect magic? Or before we pull you from that, because I don't want to make people move away for other things. Thel, I'll allow you to. Christopher, also, we'll just say you can make an Arcana check with disadvantage, and Thel can make just an Arcana check.
Yeah, I do have. I know detect magic, but I don't have it prepared. Technically.
Dang it.
Does Christopher still have the thing that can cast a spell I give him, or did he unattune to that?
Do have it with fireball in there.
With Fireball? I just replace it with Detect Magic, and then go back to what I'm doing.
Just launch the fireball into a corner.
And you don't really say anything. You just like launch the fireball out of it. You like cast something on it. You give it to him, and then just like shoo him away.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, I just thought of it. Jake, do you guys do any server-side rendering for HTML or CSS in any of your projects?
Not really.
Okay. Well, you're also more back writing cron jobs everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but we still write plenty of.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. Our stuff is like really, really like utilitarian and conventional. So everything's kind of.
I said the new project that I've been on for the past 6 months. It's really cool, really fast, really everything. Debugging server-side rendered CSS can fuck clean. It's so slow. Because there are just so many generated classes. But anyways. I was just frustrated with it this week. So like where is my 20 pixel margin coming from? Still always like to think our friendship was born off of a orange border.
Yeah, man.
The orange border that Ben West needed.
Him and John Whitlock, man. I still remember when John Whitlock finally admitted that I think it was radio buttons should look
should
different
not be
than
checkboxes.
That is my favorite moment of all time. It will always forever live as the time that I was right and not John Whitlock.
That's great because we were all right. You just championed the fight. We all hated it. Man, I read a blog post by Jeremy Miller this week about his like treatise on testing, and reading it was the most like that guy is still in 2014 and talks like I don't know, it just we're in a different world now. So
Right. I don't know if you heard
anyways,
Scott. Carrick replaced Christopher's spell. I don't know if it's a necklace. I can't remember what it is. He put detect magic in it instead of fireball, and then shoot
oh,
him
so
off.
that's actually pretty funny.
I just
Okay.
launched the fireball into a corner.
You just launch the fireball. They're just ghosts. If you just move away, they don't exist anymore. Like, and that's kind of like the weirdest thing you've seen is like as you've walked back, like the people like are almost starting to redo the routine. Like, so you're walking back, and all of a sudden, this like young gnomish lady is buying a piece of bread, and then you get the spell and you walk past that same stand again. That same gnomish lady is buying another loaf of bread. No clue. No? No. Must be downstairs somewhere. Also, where's my dice bag?
I think someone came in our house and robbed us.
Someone robbed us of a dice bag and an iPad. Doubt that's true, but I'll find it later.
Is that underneath your hand?
It's the big blue one. Too bad. Don't turn it off.
Put the pin on.
Anyways, so with all of that, you go back to the entrance. So just or go back to the board place. It had a name, but I forgot it. And you go down and you cast detect magic. Everything in here has a small magical aura. Like what you're able to see is like there's small level of enchantments on pretty much everything here. So it's like a whole bunch of +1 weapons. Looking against like the wall, 2 of the books aren't. One book is glowing very, very, very hard, like with some level of it would probably be transmutation magic. That's the biggest thing here. Like everything else is kind of, very well crafted, slightly magical, but the biggest aura comes from this book.
And it's Carrick would like to read it book. Is that right?
Could be. Does anyone speak Dwarvish or Gnomish?
I can't remember if I put on my belt or not.
If you did put on your belt, so you would
Yeah.
speak Dwarvish. And this book is old. One second. You read the spine. It says the Manual of Gainful Exercise. Nope. Hold on, wrong one. Oops. Roll 1d4.
4.
4. This is the Manual of Gainful Exercise, is what it says. And just for the sake of brevity, because it could be identified later, this book describes fitness exercises. Its words are charged with magic. If you spend 48 hours over a period of 6 days or fewer studying the book's contents, your strength score increases by 2.
As
Period.
goes
So
your maximum.
over 20. So
Right.
nice. The manual then loses its magic, but regains it in a century. It's been at least 1 century since this book was last used.
It doesn't stack
Then
every
probably
century,
8.
right?
Hmm?
It doesn't stack every century.
It does. Like if you were an elf, you could read it 3 times.
No, I mean like if
Then you
it's
die.
just sitting unused, does it stack time after time after time? So it's like plus 10 now.
No,
Five.
no, it does not give you a plus 10.
I know it doesn't, but I figured I'd ask anyway.
Yes. But yes, so that is the big find here. If you just find 48 hours to read for 6 days.
All right.
So I think the hardest thing here is that Christopher would have to read.
This is the nice thing about this one is that it is just a lot of it is diagrams that it tells you to practice.
Pictures.
All right. It's just like a men's fitness magazine.
Yes,
Like that's what I can do. Like that's my like library is just
yes, it is like it's really weird. Ryan Reynolds being super ripped is on the front of it.
The
So
real question is, do we have somebody with strength read it or somebody without strength read it to get strength? We'll have to decide that.
Up to you. You could move your strength up to a 26.
We'll go to 24. Yeah.
Yeah, that's offensive. Let's just say the average human is a 10. So you are already double that plus another half.
I'll tell you right now, I'm fine with my -1.
So, well,
Bell is curious as
anyway.
we've cast that on that wall. Not looking for any like huge explosive items, but were there any slightly glowing crossbow?
Slightly growing crossbow.
Glowing, like
Roll a
slightly.
d20.
Yeah, crossbows or any shields that look like they might be magical.
I'll say with a 12. There's a light crossbow that you could take. There's one. This is Cord is not all about, distance fighting. It is fine. It is. I'll give you a +1 crossbow on the 12.
Okie dokie.
You should. Okay. So, is that everyone's thing? At this point, it's probably been about 2 hours, so you have 2 of the 6.
Nice.
Did Felix get bored and go off in these 2 hours? Because that sounds like something Felix would do.
No, I've been hanging out with Carrick, just watching him write.
So you've been hanging out by yourself.
Yeah.
Well, if you're hanging out by yourself, make a roll an Arcana check. Okay, 19. While you were sitting there, you like, it's very weird because like it's almost like these ghosts go by, and then just a little while later, after they get out of your radius of life, the same ghost goes by again. Like, they restart. Then you hear like someone like they'll like wave and pass, so you kind of like get into this use like of someone like waving and or nodding to you, and you do that, and then after like within the after like an hour and 15 minutes of sitting there, you hear like click of the tongue like a, which catches your attention. You turn around and you see this dark purple skinned, very lithe, very long ears person with some just like very slick boots, slick thigh-high boots, tapping their foot against the corner, and you would recognize this as someone you haven't seen in a couple of months, ever since you delivered that axe from the storybook land, but who you believe to be your patron. You say her name. Holy moly, I spelled it right. You see Nintra Ciota standing against the wall. I just kind of like nods to you to kind of follow her as she walks down one of the alleys.
I am compelled to follow.
You're compelled to follow, and in fact, as she moves far enough away, like as you're like trying to get out from this chair, you feel a slight hug of a chain at your neck. So you get up and start walking over there. Do you say anything to Carrick?
Yeah, I kind of like look at him and he looks very in thought. Like, I assume he's not paying attention. I say, "Oh, be back soon." And
Yeah,
then
I'm not even gonna give him a roll to notice that you might, your head just kind of tweaked by a chain being pulled, and you follow after Nintra, and as you get into the alleyway, it's dark. You can just barely see her, and she's like, "Well, what a fun place we found ourselves, huh?"
not been that fun, but I did find some new spices. That's something.
Just let me see.
I really don't want to give them up.
You feel the chain go against your neck.
Okay. I pull the spice bottles out and just kind of hand them over. I'd really like those back.
And she just smells them and hands them back to you. Just wanted to, like, without an insight check, just wanted to assert some dominance.
You know what they are?
She smells one. She's like, "Well, that's saffron." Smells another, or she smells all of them. Like, I know saffron, and I know that one because where I come from, we use that to keep people in places. So, what do we call it? We call it sage willow. Just be careful. There are some magical properties about that one. The other two, who knows?
Okay. What can I do for you?
Well,
You don't show up with nothing for me to do, so.
well, we're in another very interesting place, much like where you were before, and there's possibility we could break another chain here. I don't worry about that, but just when I'm telling you that a situation will arise soon, and I want you to do the right thing.
When have I ever done the wrong thing?
She clicks her tongue like, yeah, the little puppet. And then disappears.
Fuck, I hate that girl. I head back to Carrick's. Where Carrick is at.
Okay. So after that, I'll say now everyone is coming back together. Warlock patrons kind of suck, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
I really like the idea of warlock patrons. The newest season of Critical Role just had like this lore drop thing about the drowned men. People that they essentially became warlock patrons and sold their soul to this underwater deity of that. But they would do it because there was a faction in it called the Taconis that essentially contracted their souls into undeath. So their way out was to sell their soul to a warlock patron because that was better than having to serve. And I'm like, I like that. Giving choice to people without choices. I think it's pretty cool. People are really clever and smart about storytelling. Anyways, you guys all come together. We'll say, yeah, it's been 2.5 hours. Do you go right back to Carrick, or do you do anything else?
No, I go right back.
Okay. How are you feeling after that interaction?
Not great. Very,
Pretty bad.
mysterious.
Because you haven't really. No one knows anything about this stuff.
Yeah.
What you would feel going back, mainly because of that, like, I don't want to give you the spices. You feel a burning on, like you already had that chain kind of like tattooed mark on you. You feel it up to like the base of your neck now. So whether or not it's noticeable, you don't know, but you definitely like feel as if like you got a tattoo on your neck. A hot, burning, prickling sensation.
Yeah, I think as I get back, I'm just kind of like rubbing my neck as I make my way back to Carrick.
If it was anyone but Carrick focused, they might have been able to clock it, but so there's about 3 more hours, and you guys are all like, you definitely know, like you're inside of a city that might have had some magical lights on all the time to like keep a circadian rhythm of knowing when it's night versus day, like when you're on an airplane flying over long distance. So you know that it's, but right now it's just pitch black, but you're feeling it's getting tired.
So the inside of the city is sort of domed then? Or how trying to match the visual to what you're describing?
So how the city works, like think of it kind of like a drill bit, like an auger. So it's going up like that. Does that make sense? But there is no natural light coming through. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's goes up slightly, and that's how you think like kind of like how they have those different steps. It's definitely narrow. Like you're still on pretty much the base, this base. Like it goes up very gradually. Like you would think like probably at its peak, this place had, 80 to 100,000 people living in it. So, yeah, it's definitely getting late. You've transcribed circles. You guys kind of have your choice right now if you continue to transcribe the circles or move about your business. Go to one of these anvil houses and get your name put in to do the trials.
You say this was gonna take like all day? I assumed we were gonna have to figure out a rest after all this.
Yes. I think that's where you're at now, is that you're like right on that edge of, do we need to rest or do we go? Resting has its own inherent weirdness with being in a dead city, but
We might as well rest, keep watch, sort of stuff. Maybe near the entrance-ish, in case we have to run out.
You
in
kind
the
of broke up,
lightning.
Scott. Does Carrick have everything transcribed, or does he still have some to go?
yeah,
Theoretically?
3. It would be 3 more hours for him to get together. 3.
I only have to sleep like half as long as everybody else too. So in theory, if we rested, I could maybe try to do both. But Carrot could be convinced to take what he's got and move on if we wanted to move on.
I think we might need, like, if we need to make a quick exit, this might be a good thing to have in our back pocket. So it might make sense to keep going. 3 hours is not that long. And you said what time? Oh, about what time of day was it?
It's probably like 7 p.m.
And we can rest after. If we want to risk that, I'm fine with that.
Okay. 3 hours happened. Nothing happened, or nothing. So that did you, Ryan, write down where the locations I said of those circles?
No, since you said I could transcribe them, I assumed that that work was gonna be done for me.
No, but I'll just give you, like, you don't necessarily know the full geography of this world.
Okay.
So what I'm giving you, you transcribe them. I said there's one on the coast. Roll a just intelligence check on the maps, and we'll go based off of maps you've seen. Okay. You guys can't roll bad today. So you would know that you have one to the city of Asarius in Zorhas. You have one to Port Damali in the Menagerie Coast. You have one to Iman in Taldore.
I am making up the spelling of all these things.
That's as long as it sounds like the words that I say. You have one to you wouldn't actually know the name of it, but it's somewhere in Isilra. That was 4. You have one in the Shattered Teeth. And you have one in the Graying Wildlands. So, if you guys just want to just fuck off and do a different adventure, you have plenty of options. You have 4 continents you could go to. Oh, the one in the Graying Wildlands, cross that one out. Say you have one in Marquette. Marquet. That's more interesting.
Okay.
Okay. Where are you guys trying to sleep? Gonna try and find an inn?
Yeah, I'm
No,
sure
no.
I could convince someone to give us a room. Been
A
working
weird
out
ghost
so well.
person that I've just thought of this is you go up into a room and you are outside of the like your life energy making these ghosts happen. So every like 15 minutes someone comes up and goes like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" It's funny to me. Okay, so you guys go and search for an inn. You guys can find an inn relatively quickly. Honestly, you probably have you could go sleep at with how well Thel interacted with that the Earthbreaker. You can get rooms at the Abbey there. They'll be very Spartan, very nothing, but you almost need to just have the same exact conversation with the guy. And I would say probably someone has to stay up with the ghosts to make it so everyone else can sleep. But I would say there's no role necessary, whereas if you were staying at like the inn or something like that. So 2 options. You could go to this place but one of you are getting sleep, or go to an inn and there's a risk of something.
I say we stay here. I'll sleep with a ghost.
Okay. Okay, so everyone can get their full night's rest, replenish everything except for Felix. Roll a Constitution check. 22, motherfucker. You slept through ghosts poking you. Of the weird things that happened today, or the scary things, these ghosts are nothing compared to someone that has a magical chain around your neck.
I think I think it's funny because everybody else may have been possessed by a ghost. I don't know anything about that, so I'm just like, yeah, I'll do the ghost, and everyone's probably like relieved.
Yep. Okay. you all wake the next morning, refreshed, recouped. What do? You have the whole day to yourselves. You can go continue searching around the city for anything else, or find your way to an anvil house. They're kind of your two directives.
What was the first one?
Just continue exploring.
I gotta keep moving forward. Go find one of these houses.
Okay. Anvil house, very easy to find. You go
30 minutes.
by community outreach.
For your calendar, Scott's community outreach starts in 30 minutes.
So easy enough. Fel, you go talk with the Earthbreaker, who starts with the exact same conversation that you had multiple times now. But when asking what you want, you can ask him where the closest anvil house is.
Yeah, it's a real
Or
50
probably not even
51st
the
real 51st date situation. I figured out like the shorthand conversation.
yes.
Establish who I am.
But probably it's less the like what the closest sample house is. Like, where's the big house?
Yeah, we want to head to the. I'm assuming it's going to be up the city, closer to the tree, looking for the animal house where we could initiate a trial.
That is amazingly what you saying that going up. You learned something about Moradin in this place. Is that down here on the bottom where people are doing the work is actually where the main shrine is, because that is what Moradin not covets, but that is what he is about the workers, about the small, about those that are creating. So in this like smaller area where you normally think as you go up it's higher status, like the people down here have the same level of status as the people on the top. It's just people on the top are doing a different job. But in Moradin's domain, that the job that these normal people are doing is just as important as the people that are, making sure streets are doing the clerical work. So Moradin, very socialist. Very, very socialist god. So they actually say like, no, so like you don't need to go up at all. Like it's an easy travel up to the house. Head towards the center. You're not going to be able to miss it because honestly, the anvil house wraps around the entire center pillar. So he sends you that way, and you realize like as you move in, you see this central pillar that has like you've seen this like how the city works is like I said that like auger going up. This is a central pillar with almost a smaller auger going up. That is open air, has a bunch of arches, and looking at it, you see like seats and people. There's not a lot of things there, but around it is, and we'd say this probably like inside of here, maybe like a quarter-mile circle. If you guys like walked around, it would probably be maybe a half mile all in circumference. But there is just this giant arch with that same symbol, that hammer with the two dwarven heads on it. And you have found the anvil house. How do you all approach?
Door. Go knock on the
Yes,
door.
there's a big archway with a giant dwarven hammerhead over it.
Is it open if I try to open it?
It's open air. You can just walk through.
Oh, we walk in. I walk in.
Walk in. I guess is like less than how do you approach is how do you present yourselves in this situation?
I guess it makes sense maybe for Thel to go first, since he's kind of like the one who knows the most about this, and like what he divulged to us is secondhand, so it probably makes sense for him to be the
Yeah, I've
first
kind
one
of
to
figured
go.
out at least the dialogue, having talked through the loop with that guy enough times. I probably, present us as pilgrims here, looking to attempt trials.
Yeah. Say. And once again, like they see the knuckles on you, and immediately go, the one that is blessed by Cord. Perhaps you can help him in these dark times. Shall you be worthy? Give us an hour. You'll have the trials ready. They say we just need a bit of each of your blood, and they put out this basin. This isn't anything creepy. It's just the blood will let us know your true intentions and how best the trials can test you. And then the ghost tries to pick up this basin, but can't. Like holds it up towards you, but the basin's behind him. Does everyone give their blood?
Yep.
Yeah.
Blood all you have to like walk around them and put the blood in there, and then you see them like holding their hands out like this, like, thank you. Please make your preparations.
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, Greg, good question. So,
It's nice that you guys wanted to explore the city, because everything that I wrote was imagining that you would just go straight to the trials. We're gonna speed run this.
sorry, you interrupted me there. So, what you're seeing here is Roll20. It's an online app
And
where you
the
can
more
basically
I've said,
run a D&D
the
game
whole
through.
thing with the ghosts being in a time loop kind of falls apart.
So my DM did set up a game in Roll20
Because
and then pushed us
they
to that,
do
right?
need-
Let me mute them. So I'd be curious if they're running something where you need a manual character sheet, or if you could do something like this. But yeah, since we're kind of actually spread out, like a couple of us are on the East Coast, and a couple of us are out west here in the States. So we kind of have to do it this way, but you can build your game board, and then character sheet is just for my character built in here, right? So, yeah, that's how we run it. But if you guys are meeting in person and doing like local character sheets, I would just see, yeah, what for DE5E that you can D&D 5E that you could download, maybe print off, something similar to this. So
Custom design right now.
Cool. I know I haven't paid you for our tickets yet, but when that all comes through, let us know, and I'd love to chip in.
Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to decide what makes the most sense, fairness-wise, with that kind of thing. Because like
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it. But like, I don't want anyone to feel obligated to do said things because I basically bought it on my own so that people wouldn't feel obligated to like put money into it. And so, but then also like if you want to put money into it, that's also fun. I just don't know how do we make it so people feel it's, I don't know, how is it fair? How is it? I don't want to be like making you put money into a thing that I own. You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, I don't have a big problem with it because we put money into things and I keep them at my house and use them outside of the tailgate already.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah, that'd be fine. It's gonna
Yeah.
be way cheaper than I thought it was gonna be. Um,
I
but
deafened for a second. Is this the outside, the wrap?
yeah,
yeah,
yep. I mean, there's all kinds of things that I want to do to the ambulance. So like, the wrap. I'm thinking of I eventually want to build a kegerator into it. I want to build like a speaker system into it, and then I'll probably also use that to I'll like build a little. I don't know. I'm gonna build some form of. I haven't decided. Some control unit that I can use to like play the Utes fight song and stuff like that. We'll see how that goes.
you know what honestly like would be good is be able to put a solar array up top that can
Yeah,
provide the power for
I
the
had that thought.
TV and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then I was like, maybe I want to mount. Do we want to mount the TV to the side at any point? Is that something we want to do, or are we fine with it on the table? If we
think that
mount the
would.
solar array on the roof, it makes sense to maybe mount the TV.
I just keep
Yeah,
thinking about the mount. Like and I think about the outdoor box. My dad has an outdoor box on his outdoor TV, but similar to what Scott has. But I just don't know if it's mounted enough to drive it safe
yeah,
enough, or if we still have to stick it on the side, which is fine. I do think mounting it on the side would clear up space. On the table is just in the way enough sometimes, depending on how much food we have. It can be a problem.
yeah, and so I've had that thought. I've had the thought of like maybe I just put a TV mount I could pull the TV on and off of in
No,
between.
that fucking sucks. Putting
Does it?
TVs on mount is the worst.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just in thought stage right now, right? These are all the things I'm thinking of, though.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm excited to see whatever the design looks like.
Yeah, that's true. They haven't given us a first draft yet. Once we have a first draft, we'll kind of look at it, give it ideas. Maybe I'll send it to you if you have ideas you want to add to it. But we're gonna iterate because we told them we don't need it for months.
I've noticed a number that have like Pac-12 stuff intertwined, or like I think avoiding certain things
Do
that
not
could
put
be
anything
not
conference
permanent.
related.
Yeah, well,
We don't-
definitely
yeah.
conference, and I think just be mindful of anything else that could change. I mean, keep it to the stuff that's probably not going to.
But solely for Schmid, just have the tiniest picture of Cam Rising in the corner.
And or Bryson Barnes.
So currently,
Or Bryson Barnes. No, Bryson Barnes, you just put a little pig.
currently the request that we've made is that we have no like people
Players.
/ players in it,
But
that-
a little in the corner.
and then
that-
we have no conference related things because
Yeah, those are. I think that's
Those are
good
wise.
enough.
Okay, you're already ahead of me.
But I do like the idea of a tiny little pig
yeah,
holding a football
we'll see if we can figure out where to integrate that after the first draft.
on the or that what I'll just print out a little sticker and just
That also works.
put it on the exhaust pipe. So you are all waiting in this like essentially a waiting room. What do you do to prepare for this trial? Like what you learned about the trial is that you'll be going into something with 4 different pathways. Whether or not that means multiple people can go down them, but they are starting off with strength, wit, will, and what was the 4th thing I said? My note just has question mark, question
It's
mark,
all
question
local
mark
players. I've
on
only
here.
played one time 10 years
Yeah,
ago. It's a
'cause
lot
you
to
said it was
start.
like
Yeah,
random,
it's tough to
or
get started.
like-
We've been
You
running
guys
it for a
say that
while now.
it's
We kind of
unknown?
started doing
Yeah,
this
yeah.
2020,
Okay.
2021,
Well,
and
good.
so we've
I'm
kind of
glad
been
that
rolling
my
for a
question
few
mark,
years.
question mark,
So I
question
haven't
mark made
created a
sense and we didn't
character
come up
in
with
quite a
something else.
while.
So
But
there's
Roll20 did
those
make it
four
really easy to
and
create one.
that
So what's interesting is that there's an
the
opportunity to like
center,
create your
you'll
character
be
in
sent on
Roll20,
your own
use all
trial.
of that, and then just copy that down. I think that might be something that's worth looking into. And then I'm not
So
sure
what
you
do you
should
do
take
to
advice from
prepare?
someone
You
wearing a
just, like,
Dodgers hat.
you
Yes,
have
so
us this
Scott's a great guy,
knowledge.
but he does
It's
like some of the LA teams, and
how do you want
as a
to
Rockies
approach
fan,
this
I give
problem?
him a hard time. So.
I would say a cleric does come in of the Alhambras. Gnomish man comes in, like gnomish, but it has like this big beard, so it's almost like probably like gnomish, dwarvish descent. Comes in and says, "I see you are most likely preparing, and as most pilgrims that come up here do not know exactly what they're getting into. There will be 4 trials. They must all be completed, and then you'll move on to the next stage. However, as many of you can break away to do different trials as an individual or stay together as one. However, know that there is a time limit. We do not allow you to just take one step and rest. The trials must be
Rockies are cool. You guys have my favorite
completed as
Philip conceit.
trials.
Yeah, so
So
I
keep
was
that
born
mind,
in
depending on
Denver,
your
so that's part of
strategy
it.
for completing the trials. So
You know, we did take a long rest, right?
what? Yeah, you guys
We
have a
did.
longer. You are all full up on everything.
Yeah, so I was born in Denver. I actually
Even
went
you
to
were
opening
only gonna
day
get
at
a short
Coors
rest,
Field.
but you got a
I've got
full
a
rest
little.
because
I'm
of
tiny,
that
so I don't know if
moment.
you can see me, but right there's a little baseball. So from that.
So yeah, you guys can kind of create your plan, do any sort of preparation that you need.
Mr.
Talk
Cleric,
about that for a
sir, can
second.
you re-summarize? Oh, never mind. What were the 4 again? Strength,
Strength, wit, will, question mark.
strength.
Do we know? Do we know, like, the order in which it's gonna go, and it's 1 per person?
What that guy had kind of given you is that there are 4 trials, 4 things you have to go through. They could all be done in tandem. They could all be done one by one. There is no order. It's kind of a choose as you want.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay,
Feel
but
free
we
to,
get
to
like,
chime
we
in
could
whenever you want to.
choose-
It's a little harder at
Okay, I guess what
D&D
I'm
than
asking
normal
is, like,
streaming, but yeah.
Is each one so individual things? So you have 4. Is each one person has to do it, or the entire group does it, or we
Nope,
can kind of choose?
You can kind of choose. So you could send 2
Okay.
down one, 2 down the other. You could do one.
Okay, got it.
It's just a matter of there is a time limit, so it's kind of balancing that. Like if you all go together and take 2 hours on the wit one,
Got it. Do we know?
you may automatically fail.
Do we know what the time limit is, or will they divulge that information to us?
They will not give you that. It is just a like constant pressure on you.
Okay. Do you guys have any preferences on
You
how
guys
you
talk
want to
about that
approach this?
I was
We
feeling
could
like
all do one, but
yeah, I was just trying to see who lined up to what. So strength, wit, will, and question mark. So if we all have one we line up with pretty well. So wit, I
strength
assume,
might
is
be
intelligence, right?
I would think so. I think strength would be you. Will would be like constitution, which would be Christopher.
Okay. Yeah,
and
I
then that
wasn't
leaves
sure.
wit and unknown. And I don't know, like, wit could be intelligence, which I think either of us, me or Carrot, could do, and then question mark could be anything.
I feel like you would.
And
I almost want if it really is more straight intelligence on wit. I think Carrick would probably be better suited, only because you, just with your agility and stealth and
That's fair.
pickpocketing, could probably do better in a question mark situation.
Do you want to do that then? Like we just kind of all four of us do one, and if it's fucked, it's fucked.
Yeah, we could
That
do
works.
that.
Yeah, the question mark is the one that worries me, but I agree that you would be better suited for a question mark than I would.
Okay, cool.
So
That
I
sounds
guess
great.
then, that makes sense. Or we could do like send 2 down 2 of the rows and then send 2 down the next 2. I think
I kind of think if I personally, this is Jake talking. If we're gonna do one, it's one or the other. We either all four do all four, or we each do one. I think trying to split it 2 and 2 is kind of just make it more complicated and harder.
Yep.
Just from like a mechanical and like storytelling perspective, I think it's going to be harder to manage. I think one-on-one or everyone at once would be the 2 paths I'd go. But I could be talked down from that.
If somebody finishes early, can they join somebody else?
No.
Okay.
Or maybe.
Like if there's one person stuck in there for the last thing and we're all out, do we? No. I don't know.
I'll have to think about that because this is obviously going to go into the next game. So
I think what we've kind of decided is that each one of us is going to take one of the trials.
Okay.
Christopher is going to take will. Sal will take strength. Carrick will take wit, and Felix will take question mark.
okay. I like that a lot. Just since it's 151, we'll kind of like put a button on it there. You all are waiting. You talk about your plan, and a little while later, a ghost comes in and says, "The audience has gathered. It is a great day. Most people up there will be happy that you gave them a day off of work." And he kind of laughs and says, "Now follow me." And you walk through and you start hearing like that, like people cheering, just excited to watch this. And as you come out into this, like I said, the whole thing was about a half-mile circumference. Where you walk out on you have about 100 feet of gap before you see these giant pillars with a flat top on top, looking like the entrance to the Minotaur's maze. And in front of that, there are 4 doors, human-sized doors. But looking around, going up that, that auger-like thing is thousands, if not tens of thousands of ghosts lining the walls, looking down on you. Cheering, yelling, obvious excitement, and not for like a blood sport, but just for like, these are pilgrims making their final like point of this journey. Like this is not people, these are people rooting for you, not rooting against you like in the gladiatorial fight. Not rooting for the event, rooting for the people. You honestly actually see, and just in the weird thing of recognition, the Earthbreaker who had you had talked to, Fel, is standing at one of the doors and just nods to you, like in some semblance of recognition. Like, this event somehow supersedes that weird magical time loop that you've like put all these beings in something of actual revelry and excitement, as opposed to just the malaise and loop that they don't even know they're in. So with that, you just see a kind of like glimpse on the Earthbreaker that knows that this is special and that my life is, while not terrible, kind of in purgatory. So some mixed emotions maybe. But that is what's in front of you. And then in the center, you see of this whole room, one straight pillar going straight up through the entirety of that. And that you would think that that is your goal, is to get to that center. But how you get there and what trials await you is a story for another day. So, good job. That was fun. I like this ghost city.
Hell yeah.
Well, cool. Thank you, Scott.
Sorry there was no trials.
I mean, that was our decision, so.
Cool.
All right, Greg, we are jumping off, so I'm going to end it here, but you can feel free to watch any
Chris
of the
is having
others
a
in the
child in
playlist
3
here for
weeks.
D&D, and you can check out what else we've done in the past, and I'll be back probably about a month.
And
So.
honestly, I am